One thing I've learned from YouTube over the last couple of years is the secret to getting negative feedback is to show a non-traditional recipe for a classic Italian dish. But I'm braced for the brutal onslaught because this recipe is well worth it. Orecchiette con la Cozze is normally flavored only with garlic, parsley, and crushed red pepper flakes. I've kept the same notes in the flavor chord, but I've added a whole chorus of harmony. I urge you to actually try this before you criticize it. If I didn't tell you what was in it and you were served it in my restaurant, I guarantee that you would love it. If you can possibly get them, I strongly suggest you get Casa Rinaldi Orecchiette for this. They are perfectly made. You will never make them this good yourself.
And getting ready to begin, we have our mise en place of the mussels here, the pasta weighed out, this seasoning mix that I explained in detail, the chili powder, I'm using my own, the same one from the chili con carne, a couple of cloves of garlic, and the butter weighed out, and a lemon for juicing later.
Pay particular attention to how you cut the garlic.
Now, when you cut the garlic up, cut it into fine dice. Don't crush it, don't mince it, don't slice it. You want fine dice for this. When the pasta water, which is salted, can still boil, obviously, add the pasta and begin counting the time. In a separate saucepan, I'm going to begin melting the butter on medium heat. As the butter melts, we're going to add the garlic, finely diced garlic. And we're going to cook this very, very slowly while the pasta continues to boil away. It's been 6 minutes now that the pasta's been cooking. If you're not seeing bubbles around the garlic here at this point, then turn your heat up. It isn't high enough. If it's bubbling away fiercely, turn it down. It's too hot and you're going to burn the garlic. Don't do that either. The garlic's been sauteing now for about 3 minutes. I'm adding the chili powder to it. Give this a stir around. Let it continue to cook a little bit more. Meanwhile, the pasta continues to boil away. Now we're at the 11.5 minute mark from when we first started boiling the pasta. I'm adding the white wine and that seasoning mix. And now I'm going to turn up the heat to about 7 here. We want to actually bring this to a good boil momentarily, and then we're going to reduce it to a simmer. It's been 2 minutes rather at a good boil. Now I'm going to reduce the heat back down to 4. You can see this is thickened up some. This is what you want to see. Now the mussels go in, and these are going to cool the whole thing down. So this will cook slower now because the reduced heat on the burner, and then also the fact that the mussels are fairly cold and bringing the temperature down. Okay, it's come up to a simmer. Now, depending on exactly how al dente you want your pasta, you'll add it at that time accordingly. I'm going with 15 minutes. That's too long for Italians. Italians would use much less time generally because they like it really al dente. They'll generally like it very chewy. I don't like it quite that chewy, so I'm going to add this a little bit later. It's 15 minutes in from when we first started it. Now I'm increasing the heat just a little bit. It's too wet. We're going to drive off some of this moisture here. A couple minutes. Also finish cooking the pasta because it's not completely done. Then we'll add the lemon juice and plate it up. Okay, I've heated it for about 1 minute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lid on it. I'm going to kill the heat completely. I'm going to put a lid on it. I'm going to let the pasta absorb that moisture. After about 2 more minutes, I add fresh lemon juice. Exactly how much you add is up to you, of course. Give it a final stir. Check it, make sure that the consistency is right. If it's a little bit too watery, add some more heat. If it's actually too dry, you can add a little water to it, but I've never seen that happen. It's a little bit too wet is usually the problem. This is just about right, so we're going to plate this up.
If you like my videos, look for my cookbook, now available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other internet bookseller sites.
Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.